Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much to the Telegraph to share our case, our study case. My name is Miguel, and I am the Group Director for Lloyds Banking Group, reporting to the CEO, running the digital division of Lloyds Banking Group. And two things that we'd like to share with you in our case is, one is our challenge and our obligation. And what we mean by that is both words are very positive for me. The challenge of bringing a traditional organization of 250 years history to the digital future, and our obligation to make sure that all digital leaders in this room make sure that we don't exclude anybody in the UK in terms of getting the benefits of digital. This video shows a little bit the scale and the challenge when we started in 2011 to accelerate our digital transformation. So the challenge is how an organization with these iconic brands and with more than 23 million customers, banking with 80% of the FTSE 250, really could embrace the digital revolution that was coming to us. And it has been a two-phase journey. Between 11 and 14, what we're trying to do with 750 million investment was what we call to digitize the channel. And right now, we are in the middle of digitizing the van. Not only delivering fantastic customer propositions on a digital world for our customers, but transforming end-to-end with digital tools the 10 most important journeys end-to-end for our customers, with 1 billion investment between 14 and 17. This has been our journey. I'm not going to be speaking a lot about the what's today. I'm going to be speaking about if it is useful, the hows, the errors, the things that didn't go well, etc. But just to give a scale of the strength of the digital banking franchise of Lloyds Banking Group. We have 21% market share in this country of any sales that is done online. We have 12 million active online users. We have 7 million mobile active users. 5 years ago, this number was 0. Last year, in 2015, 55% of the total sales of our retail customers were done online. And for our commercial clients, we transact every year online more than 2 trillion pounds through our commercial platforms, the same size of the UK GDP. We knew that we needed to be bold. And I think that being bold and having the right strategic direction is one of the most important things that we had at the beginning. Here in this exhibit, you have two signs of boldness. Of course, almost 2 billion investment. But also, in September 13, our CEO, Antonio Horta Osorio, decided to create a single division reporting to him within the bank. We remove all the digital capabilities of all the divisions, and he seated at the executive table, reporting to the CEO, digital. This is a sign of things that he was trying to do. And I had the privilege to be appointed to be the Group Digital Director for Lloyds Banking Group. And at that moment, I thought, well, in my previous life, I have felt a lot of passion to serve. Since my teenager years when I worked 7 years as a waiter, or my first job in banking was 29 years ago as a cashier. And I thought that I had an opportunity at that moment to really shape the way Britain banks. And of course, we were the first FTSE 250 company having a digital director reporting to the CEO. It helped us a lot in our digital division to be at the table where all decisions were taken, but also we were the first bank in the world to have a digital, of the top 25 banks in the world, to have a digital director reporting directly to the CEO. This is boldness. This helped us a lot. And we knew that we needed to be bold, but we need not to be bold in the intention. We need to be sitting and putting digital in the heart of the group strategy. And for those that follow Lloyds Banking Group, that last night is the bank number 15 in the world by market cap, the value of the bank. So since when we announced our new strategy in 2014, for the period 15, 16, and 17, digitizing the bank is a core pillar of our strategy. But we also realized that we needed to recognize colleagues and to start to do things in bringing innovation, agile, transformation, recruiting a different way, creating a different space, to be the catalyst in our digital division, with only 800 people, the catalyst for change of our 75,000 colleagues. But also recognizing in this environment that the needs of our customers were significantly changing. And as I have mentioned in the announcement of the new strategy in 2014, digital sits at the heart of our strategy. We will continue delivering fantastic digital propositions for our customers at the same time that we transform the end-to-end journeys of our customers with digital tools. And the third one, we bring digital skills to the rest of the organization. And we recognized that we needed to change our culture. And we put innovation and an agile culture in the way that we work at the heart of the digital division that right now is expanding across the group. We created an innovation lab. We created agile methodologies. You can see this does not look like a bank. I recognize that. But we started to generate more than 40, 50 proof of concepts on a drumbeat in terms of innovation across the bank through our. And also we recognized that we needed to change the environment. We needed to change the environment in order to be able to attract talent. This is Chiswell Street. This is our digital hub, where we have 800 people co-located working. It's pretty close here. It's just 10 minutes walk from here. This is one of the secret sauce of our success. We put IT people, we put people from risk, people from the business, people from marketing, all working in mini banks in terms of creating this innovation and this agile culture that right now is expanding across the group. But also we recognized that we had another challenge. Another challenge was in terms of how we were going to recruit talent. I'm sorry to say that the traditional ways of recruiting people, well, you need to adapt. these HR processes for the future. It is true that we need to start to use different means of communications with the pool of talent, Twitter feeds, our hub that we are explaining to all colleagues and stakeholders what we are doing. We embrace fintech and we embrace partnerships. We are cooperating very close with fintechs. We start Bootcamp. We have a partnership of idea sharing with Google. We have collaboration with Tinder Foundation, with a lot of partners that are helping drive. This was another change. People, and we launched the first digital UK graduate program in this country. And we are working very hard to be able to combine the knowledge of banking of 250 years history with the new world and the new talent that brings, that brings digital. We also had another challenge. So we needed to create a group within these 800 people, a very diverse type of group of people. We needed to recognize that 50%, for example, on diversity on females, 50% of our customers, of our clients, are female. And it was very shocking to see that when we were only 70% of the population in the fintech industry in this country are female. But at the same time, every time that we were receiving an application, only 1 out of 14 were female. And we need to change that. I'm so pleased to say, you have seen in the video today, that 42% of all the colleagues in our digital division are female. And this is our obligation to be very sure that we represent the customer base that we have with our colleagues. And we implemented a culture, seven very simple principles that I'm sure that are familiar to all of you. But we design for the whole experience, not just for a sale. We test and learn. We test and learn, repeat, and fail. Novel failures were very important because normally in a bank, so the risk, the regulation, and all this type of thing does not help. The third one, very important principle out of these 7 is we follow the data. The fourth thing was we constantly simplify. The 6th is that the benchmark is not banks. Our customers are not comparing anymore with banks. They want to be intuitive like Apple, interactive, mobile. But there are on the left side on the right side of this exhibit 3 things that are core in every day that I review propositions in digital. This needs to be relevant for our customers. It needs to be simple. And it needs to be beautiful. The first time that I told the board beautiful, they thought that potentially was working in a different industry. But it's beautiful just because our clients do not compare anymore with other banks. They compare with how they live their lives. And in a bank, it needs to be relevant, beautiful, simple, and safe. But this is the challenge. I have just touched some elements that were important on the how we were doing things. Be bold. Align the 3 Ps. People, power for empowerment, and pounds behind. The strategy from the top. Creating an environment to innovate and really an environment to work in an agile methodology. We have 10 mini banks in these labs. It was very important that we started to recruit in a different way. It was very important that we had a diverse workforce. And we have one of the best, if not the best, scores within the group in terms of colleague engagement. And our trust scores in our division reached the numbers of close to 90%. The last colleague survey was answered in our division by 99% of the colleagues that work. But this is the challenge, the positive thing, the excitement. And we know that we are the largest digital banking franchise in this country. But we will not stop there. The obligation comes by recognizing and learning through the last years is that digital is the most powerful changing tool of our generation. It is the most powerful tool, change tool of our generation. And this means the obligation that to make sure that we all are digital leaders is that we make sure that people is not excluded from digital. that people get the benefit, whatever they are, your clients or customers or not, of digital. We started with thought leadership in here, with other partners like Tinder Foundation, Every.com, Accenture, etc. And this is just one piece of research that we did with 1 million customers. So there's starting to see in the world a correlation between digital inclusion and social inclusion. Digital inclusion and financial inclusion. Financial inclusion is very close to banks. We need to make sure that people is not financially excluded. But this research that we launched this year said that there are 3 million people in this country that have low digital skills and low financial skills. This research said that the benefits in this country to be online is on average every year £700 per individual. This research says that there is a strong correlation of being digital excluded and socially excluded. And then we were thinking, well, how we are going to move and unlock the potential in our organization? Because, of course, that we are in the banking industry, but this is beyond financial services. 25% of the job offers in this country are done only online. Can you imagine if you are not online? 90% of the job offers in this country is starting to require some digital skills. Financial distress is one of the most important factors in correlation with mental health issues in this country. And we know, through this research, that when you are online, you save 4 times more. You are on top of your finance, and 86% of our customers tell us that by being digital, they have less financial distress. Then that's why we launched this program. We committed to hire within our organization 75,000 people, 20,000 digital champions within the bank to go and help in the communities that we serve to people that are not taking the benefits of digital to join the digital world. And here you have our colleagues that are helping, this is just an example of one of our brands, are helping 200 libraries across the country just to help the people to get on digital. But also we realize is that this is not important in digital, just design products and services for the people that get it. We have to design product and service for all the customers. For all the customers. Here, starting from young kids. So we launched our online savings account for young kids, and the first one was at 8:32. Lila, their parents, opened a savings account in 10 minutes from home, just uploading in ID&B a passport of the kid. Fantastic for the future, but when Lila is 11 years old, he will start to receive education from ourselves and our partners in terms of how she's going to be saving for the future. Lorena is a Lloyds banking customer for 50 years, who is suffering Alzheimer's now, and he comes every Thursday afternoon through our digital zones in our Croydon office to start to take the advantage of digital. So to finish, so the challenge is how you bring a large organization like Lloyds Banking Group to become the largest digital banking franchise of this country. And I have mentioned some elements that were part of our secret sauce. And to illustrate what is coming in the future, on the second half of this year, our customers will be able to open a current account with a selfie, a photo, and then from home with not the need to go anywhere. To illustrate what is coming, so today it takes around 50 or 60 days to onboard a medium SME client in the UK. It will take, with Lloyds, less than 14 days. Next year, we will put our digital platform in our branches, and all the transactions will take at least 50% less of the time. And next year, or at the end of this year, we will start to become a real multi-channel bank with the same products, same prices, and same platform in all our channels. This is the challenge. But we'll make it proud of working for Lloyds Banking Group. With Lloyds Banking Group is the other bit of my job, the obligation. And we have an obligation all together. We get digital. We live in a digital world. We need to do whatever is in our hands in terms of making sure that nobody in this country is excluded from the benefits what brings digital. Because digital can transform the lives of many people. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. We will now open the floor for questions in the next few minutes. I think that was a fascinating talk. By the way, and I really liked the bit about the selfie, opening your bank account with a selfie. Now that's what I like to hear. So, who's got a question? Gentleman over there, please.
Hello, Hamish McVeigh from British Airways. Thank you for your presentation. It was really interesting and really interesting to see how you've grown so rapidly with digital. My question is, do you think you'll get to the point where you actually drop the word digital from what you're doing, because actually it is the core of what you're doing to develop your customer experience?
This is my aspiration. When I was appointed digital group director for Lloyds Banking Group in 2013, my boss asked me, what is a measure of success of this digital division? And I told him, the measure of success is that this digital division does not exist anymore in a few years. The point being, all businesses should be thinking digital first, and within digital should be thinking mobile first. This takes time. It has not been easy, this journey, and everybody that works in large organizations know that this is not as simple as I'm saying, but the measure of success, my own measure of success is that I am made redundant in a few years.
How many years? That's an interesting question.
Well, it depends, because the different businesses are in a different mature type of thing. It is true that when you have created this division, you could organize in a different way, give the front-end power of the, let me call it, sales and services, because digital in Lloyds Banking Group does 85% of all the transactions of our customers, if you remove checks and ATMs. So the question is, one of the beauties that I have learned is that this center of excellence could be applied to other things. Right now, that, for example, in our labs, we are experimenting a lot with biometrics, with artificial intelligence, new things required to be care, but I think that the current model could evolve, and this depends, it's a question of years, so I don't have a specific answer here.
Great, thank you. Just here, please.
Thank you. My name's Sally Borner from West Midlands Police. Miguel Angel, if I can say a massive thank you. That was hugely inspiring and uplifting and incredibly powerful in terms of the impact of digital in transforming lives. There's so much that resonated in terms of work we're doing within the public sector, which I'll have the opportunity to share later on this afternoon in one of the sessions. I'm interested about any insight or experiences you have in terms of cross-sector working that transforms the lives of citizens across our communities, particularly in terms of digital inclusion.
I'm sure if you're aware, I have been a member of Go on UK, that right now is merging with it's not everyone, so and there we were represented in the board many industries, from telco, post office, the foundations, and I think that what I have explained applies to all the sectors. I'm sorry to say, it's as simple as that. So sometimes I try to explain like that when you are at home and your boiler explodes, you don't have water, you realize what is not having a boiler light. So we live in a world that we get the benefits of digital. But there is a lot of people that is excluded from society, not only in banking, excluded from society. And I think that in Lloyds, we really believe, as you are saying, that in the future, businesses will not be successful if they are not responsible business. And the beauty of digital is that digital, at the end of the day, what it does is brings the power to the customers, not to the organizations. And I think that all large organizations in this country, agencies, charities, etc., has an obligation to make sure that this country does not exclude anybody. Although UK is the most digitized country of the G20, but still we have a lot of things to do. There are 5 million people in this country that has not access internet. 40% of the charities of this country have very low digital skills. 1/3 of the SMEs of this country have low digital skills, and there is a strong correlation between turnover and digital skills. And I think that this applies cross-sector. I have been a proud member of Go UK board, and I can tell you that this, if the cross-sector joint effort, it will be better.
Thank you very much. We've got time for one last question.
Hi, it's thank you very much, Miguel. It's Kate Payne from Pfizer. You didn't touch on it, but what I'm interested is knowing what activity and what investment you're putting into internet banking security. So in terms of the hacking in your digital hubs, do you effectively have somebody trying to foil the hackers, if you like?
So, my day-to-day business is basically managing the 55% of the sales of the bank, and at the same time making sure that the operation runs. And on the operation runs, there are the 3 typical operational risks or risks that you will have in a bank are threefold. One is the IT resilience of our platform, operational risk, that right now has moved to be cyber. The second thing is the conduct risk, to make sure that we don't force any misbuying to our customers. And we are investing hundreds of millions in terms of the IT resilience and cyber. And also the most important type of thing, which I have not mentioned before, one of the important levers of our transformation was to launch a digital academy 3 years ago, an internal digital academy for all the 75,000 colleagues within Lloyds Banking Group. Right now, the most important upgrades that we are doing is IT resilience, cyber skills, etc. A huge amount of money, because this is ahead of anything. Ahead of anything is the security and the resilience of our IT platforms.
Great. Thank you very much indeed for that presentation. That was much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.